Hi, this is David here at Highland Camper Vans and welcome to this handover video for the WildAx Europa XL. Hopefully this video will get you to grips with the main control functions of this particular van, ready for your first adventure out. I would recommend that you bookmark this video for future reference, just in case you're out in the field and you just need a little helping hand. But don't forget that you have a very comprehensive owner manual which will guide you through all the processes, or indeed, please reach out to us here at Highland Camper Vans. So enjoy the video. So located just inside the passenger door, you're going to find this little lever here. This will open the bonnet. So let's take a little look. Now the bonnet release latch is located normally in line with the WildAx logo. Run your hand underneath and there's a little lever just here which you need to release. So under the bonnet we have screen wash, coolant, brake reservoir. And then just here we have the yellow ring for the oil dipstick and an oil reservoir fill. Now, in the event of a jump start for the vehicle, you can use the Clayton unit as a jump booster pack, which is all covered in the WildAx instructions. Or push come to shove, you can use the control points inside the vehicle itself. So you have the negative terminal just here, and then hiding just down under there is the positive terminal. And that is under the bonnet of your WildAx. Looking down the driver's side of the vehicle, you are going to find all your major water points. So you're going to find your fresh water fill, you're going to find your waste tank empty, and your fresh tank empty taps here as well. So to put water into the van, it's very straightforward. You just lift the flap up, and then take your key, unlock the flap, rotate this out. This just behaves like a fuel flap, and then you would take your hose line and then just insert that into the van. So your hose, pop that in, run the water. Now, when you know it's filled, you can either check the habit control panel or wait till water pours out here. That lets you know it's filled. And it's just a case of returning the cap. Don't forget to lock it and then shut that just down there. Now, for draining the vehicle, you've got the taps just here. Just rotate this. That will allow the fresh tank to start draining. And if you need to drain your wastewater, obviously at a wastewater point, you can rotate this tap here to allow the rest of wastewater to drain as well. And that is your freshwater system. So, located down on the driver's side of the van, you're going to find this access door, and this access door is to allow you to get the chemical toilet out of your WildAx. Don't forget to unlock it first. So press the two buttons, open it up, and then you'll see your chemical toilet in here. To release it, just squeeze the green trigger and then pull the whole unit out like so. You do have a little extendable trolley handle with the little wheels to take it to and from your servicing point. Now once you reach the servicing point, you just need to open the nozzle, take the cap off like so. Now the cap does also act as a measuring cup for toilet chemicals. Don't forget, we strongly recommend that you use green or pink toilet chemical. A lot of campsites these days won't accept blue toilet chemicals, so do check with your site before you travel. Now once you are ready to empty the toilet, reach your tipping point, press the release button here, and that will let the pressure out, empty the cassette. What you then need to do is give the cassette a wee wash, so put water in, give it a wee good swill around, do that twice, and then put water into about where the wheels is, and then add your chemical, be it with a liquid or a pod. Put the cap back on, slide that back down again, and then make sure you've got the wheels in first, roll it in until you hear it click. There it goes. Give it a quick tug, make sure it is secure, and that is the toilet. Now, do bear in mind that this cassette will not release if the flap for the toilet is open. So for whatever reason you're trying to pull this out and it doesn't want to come out, go inside, check the toilet flap, and make sure that has actually been closed fast, and there you go. Shut the door, and don't forget to lock before you travel, and that is a toilet set. So, located down the driver's side of the van, you're going to find this little access flap just here, which is labelled electric, and this is for your electric hookup. So you're going to need your hookup cable, open the flap, and all you need to do is just connect your hookup cable with the blue flap at the top, slide it in till it clicks, and that's it connected. Now, top tip when connecting yourself to the electric hookup is you don't want to travel with a live cable. So what you should always do first, okay, is connect the van first and then take the other end of the cable to your electrical hookup point. connect it there. Once you are connected, don't forget to check the trip switches of your electrical hookup. Don't leave your van to be the last line of defense. If for whatever reason your hookup point is not tripping, its breaker circuit properly, check it with your cap manager, and obviously let them know there may be a potential problem. When it comes to unhook the van from electrical hookup, it's a case you reverse the process. So you unhook from your connection point and then disconnect from the van, and it's just a case of just pull the cable out and then shut the flap. Don't forget to make sure the flap is fully shut, because you don't want that opening up when you're driving along. And that is connection measure. So, located in the back of the vehicle on the driver's side under the bunk, you'll find these two access panels, and these will give you access to your Clayton inverter box. Now, this shouldn't need any attention from yourself, as it were. It is self-contained unit, works by itself. Just to the side here is the master control switches, but again, this is something you shouldn't be self-serving. If you do have questions about this, then speak to our workshop team. On the opposite side is your trip fuses, distribution board, and you've got your Clayton inverter control box as well. The fuses are just regular standard blade fuses, and the lower panel of the RDC board pops out to give you your trip switches. And that is your fuses and distribution board. So your TV unit in the back of the van, so you have your Avtex television just here. It connects with the 12 volt and the aerial here. The TV does come with a 3-pin power supply, so if you want to make use of it out of the van, you can do. Before using it, obviously make sure the 12 volt system is on. Do check in the side cupboard here that the little signal box is switched on up here. If this isn't switched on, then you're not going to get a TV signal through the aerial. So once you've done that, then it's just a simple case of taking your remote control, turn the television on. It'll take a second.
And this comes up out of the soil like that.
And there we go. And that is your television. The remote control is pretty straightforward. So you've got your volume channel changes here, and then you've got your quick launch buttons for your Netflix and Amazon Prime. And that is the television. So, located underneath the rearmost cushion of the lounge area, you're going to find this access panel. And under this access panel is the Truma boiler system. So, for winterization, we do need to drain this boiler. Now, how you do that is located just down here. There's a little yellow switch which you flick, and that will then start the drainage process of the boiler. When the thing is in the upright position, it will be drained. When it's down, that is the boiler circuit closed, allowing water into the boiler system itself. So as part of your winter drain down, don't forget, flick the switch up, let the water drain out of the boiler. You'll see the water drop through the bottom of the van, and that is your boiler system. So now we're going to make the bed in the back of the Europa, and the first thing you need to do is you need to release from here your two bed panels. So they slide out like so, and it's a simple case of laying them on top of the rails on either side of here, one located there, and then all you need to do is just bring the cushions down like so. And that there is the bed. And to put the bed back again, it's just reverse the process. Lift the cushion over, slide that in, put the cushion back up. Same on the other side, pull the cushion up, slide that back over, and then remove your panels. 1, 2, and then like so, into that little storage unit. Don't forget to put this down, obviously it will slide out, and that's the bed. So next we're going to look at the Truma heating system for your van. Then this controls the hot water and the room temperature. The control panel is located on the passenger side of the vehicle in the lounge area, just next to the cooker and the window. So to turn it on, we press the home button, power the screen on, and there is our main menu. So you've got room heater, water heater, control access for the Bluetooth app, timers if you want to turn the hot water on at certain times. Notifications in case there's a message you need to see. Turn off system, and then if you scroll to the side, you've got settings which actually do time and date, screen displays, things like that, as it were. You've got time, date, and the Bluetooth is active. So first one is room. So we're going to tap the room climate. It's asking if we want to heat or ventilate. So pretty straightforward. If we want to heat the van, we pick heating. If it's a warm day and we need to cool the van down, we could use the ventilating. So we're going to go heating. So this just here lets us see currently the boiler is set the room temperature for 25 degrees. The van is currently at 20. And this red ring has let us know that the system is now turning on and active. We can see the on symbol up here. So we've got a couple of options on the side. We can pick fast or comfort for the fan speed. If we need to get the room warmed up quickly, we'd pick the fast mode. You'll hear a little bit of noise as the ventilation system starts to kick it in, get the heat running quickly. Comfort mode does the same thing, but it's a little bit softer. This down the bottom here is our energy source. So we can either opt to use the diesel system to run the boiler, or if we're on electrical hookup, we can tell the van that we're on hookup electric 1, 900 watt, or electric hookup 2 at 1800 watt. You've got a little information icon just here. We'll just give you a reminder of what these options actually do. So we're going to pick diesel heating, leave the electric off. We're going to leave it at 25. We can now see up here that the system is working and the fans are on. And if we go back to the home screen, we're now going to see a green bar with 25. That lets us know that the system is operating. So hot water works in basically the same way. So we turn the hot water on. We can pick our heating mode, whether it's electric or diesel. We're going to leave it on diesel. Now you've got 3 temperature settings for the hot water. So you've got eco, which is great for dishes. You've got comfort, which is fine for washing up with. And then you've got hot if you want to use the shower side of it. Boost mode, just here, if we want to get the hot water running as quickly as fast, it kind of like supercharges the heating system for you. And if we go back to the home screen, again, like the other one, you're going to see the green symbol up there. To turn these off, we just go into them and then press the off button to turn off the various different settings, like so. Now, for switching the system off, we need to use the off button just here. And then we put the system off. And then after a few moments, this will then power down. Now, top tip for this is before you turn off the 12-volt electric system, so your lights, your cooker system, make sure the trimmer system is switched off first. From time to time, if you switch off the main distribution panel first, or the habitation panel, the trimmer system can sometimes throw up an electrical interrupt alert, which you then have to clear every time you turn the system on. So good practice is switch this off first, and then power down the habitation controls once you're ready to leave the van. And that is your heating and hot water. Next, we're going to look at the sink and tap. Now, to use the tap, you do obviously need to make sure that the water pump is running on your habitation control panel, which you'll see in another part of this video. So once you've got the water pump running, you obviously can open the sink, move the tap over to the sink, and it's just a case of using the controller just here for cold water, or if you've got the boiler running, you can adjust this up for hot water like so. And then once you're done, just close the tap and then put it across, and you can then bring this bit back down. And that is... Next, we're going to take a look at your induction hob by Sterling Power. So first things you need to do, you do need to make sure you have switched on the 230-volt circuit for the van, which you'll see in another part of this video. You switch the hob system on here. You'll hear a beep to let you know the system's turned on. It should light up just here as well to let you know that the power has arrived. And then to turn it on, you press the on-off button. You have a timer mode. There is a lock control for the buttons. You have a menu which lets you select the power and the temperature, and then you actually have a heat level setting. Bear in mind that this won't work unless you have a pan or something on the rings. If you try to use the rings with nothing on it, you'll get an EO error message, which is telling you that the rings haven't detected any pans. It's just for safety. So once your pan is on, turn the ring on, and then we're going to select our power with the menu. So there's our power there, and then we can change the temperature like so. So I'm going to keep it nice and low, and that there will start running the induction ring. You'll start to see it glow, your pan will start getting hot. Once you're done, okay, and you finish doing your cooking as it were, you just switch the system off, The little light here will stay on for a few moments because this ring will still be hot. It's just obviously to let you know that this ring has been in use. Be careful, okay? This will then turn itself off after a few moments. Once that has done, don't forget to turn this off and then switch your 230 sockets back off again if you don't need them. And that is the Sterling Power induction ring. So located above the hab door as you come into the van, you're going to see this little control panel, which is for the Clayton battery and inverter system. So it has 3 buttons and a battery status indicator. So it's very simple to use. We've got our status indicator here, just let us know how much battery power we actually have to use. And then we have 230 sockets, circuit, 12 volt circuit, and then we have a jump mode, which I'm not going to talk about just now, but that is all covered in your owner's handbook. So first things first, we need to turn the 12 volt circuit on. So if we want to use the lights in the van, we turn this circuit on. That will then action the HAB control panel, which we can then turn the lighting circuits on and make use of the van, the TV, toilet flush, etc., water pump. If we want to use the 230 sockets, the 3-pin sockets, or the induction hob, we need to turn that circuit on. This is this button here. This will then turn that circuit on. You will normally sometimes hear, there it goes, a little beep from the Clayton unit to let you know that circuit is now armed. Once you have finished using your sockets or been using the Hartshire ring, do turn this off. Now, bear in mind when using the inverter, you've got a 3000 watt inverter. Be mindful of the items that you're using. Try not to use the microwave and the induction rings and blow drying your hair and using the telly and charging the laptop, etc., because it's going to drain the battery really, really fast. Try to use one device at a time, as it were. So once we've finished with the circuitry, we're going to turn that circuit back off, revert back to the 12 volt circuit. And then when we turn the distribution panel off, it's not a bad practice just to switch this circuit back off again, and that kills all the power in the van itself. Now, the Clayton unit is linked to your solar panels on board, so the solar panels will provide solar charging to the battery system as it goes along. Other than that, you don't need to do anything else further with the circuits. And that there is the Clayton control panel. So as you come into the van, right in front of you, you're going to see this little device just here. This is the Habitation control panel for the van. So this controls the lighting and the water pump. Now, do make sure that you turn on the 12 volt circuit on the Clayton controller, which is covered in this video. So what you do, once that's on, you can then turn the Habitation circuit on down here. It'll beep just to let you know it's turning on. And after a minute, you'll get the display come up. There we go. The 12 volt light circuit is on here. If it is not lit, just press the button and that will turn the 12 volt circuit on. That controls your light, your television, as well as the USB sockets as well. Next one here is for the water pump. That will turn the water pump on. It's not unusual to sometimes hear the water pump sort of grumble away. All it's doing is just pressurizing the water. So it will switch off after a few minutes. So don't panic if you hear a little bit of a noise. This just here, it would be for an external awning light. You've then got a lighting control, which controls the dimming functions of this. Down here is a program mode, and then you've got your water level. So this just lets you see the fresh water level, and then you've got a battery status. Now, because of the Clayton system, this here can only monitor the leisure battery side of it. It can no longer monitor the vehicle battery side. It's just a little quirk of the Clayton system. If you had a normal setup without the volt pack, you would be able to also monitor the leisure battery. So it's not going to be uncommon to see this little symbol flashing at you. It's just part and parcel of the volt pack circuit. So if you switch things off, just press the buttons like so, and then you can then power down the hab panel with the button just here, and that turns the circuit off. Now, remember with this circuit, just don't switch this circuit off if your Truman heating system is still on. Make sure you shut down the Truman heating system first before powering down this control panel. It just saves you from getting any little error message that the Truman system might throw up at you. So power the Truman system down first, then just here, and then don't forget, if you are leaving the van, to turn the 12 volt circuit off on your Clayton control panel, which is covered in this video as well. And that is your Habitation control panel. So moving into the bathroom, I just want to quickly show you the bathroom tap and how that works. So it's very similar to the kitchen tap. You can swivel it from side to side, use the wee faucet controller here to turn the water on and off, hot or cold. Now don't forget this bit actually comes out to act as your shower, and that connects to this just up here, like so. And then once you're done with the shower, don't forget to retract that back in. You may need to feed the hose line into it, but make sure it's nice and secure back in. and that is the sink. Now while we're here, let's have a little look at the Thetford flush toilet, which is this located just down here. So if you're using the toilet, what you do need to do is make sure the 12-volt socket on, because you need to be able to use the electric flush. Lift the lid. Inside, you're going to see a little flap just hiding down here. That needs to be opened first before using the toilet, and that is done with the wee switch here. And you can see the little flap is open. That makes the toilet now ready for use. Once you've done your business, you will need to flush the toilet. So you need to turn the circuit on by pressing the button first, little green light, and then press the button again, and that will action the wee flush. Rule of thumb, normally count to 3 or give it a quick press. Just use your own judgment. Once you're done, close the flap. Very important. You don't want any funny smells coming back up from your waste tank back into the bathroom. And then once you're all done, don't forget, close the lid. And that is your bathroom. So moving on to your Dometic fridge. Very straightforward to use. All you need to do to power on is hold the silver button down. Fridge beeps, powers on. Take a minute while it just fires itself up. So we've got a wee display just here. So the top part of the display tells us how the fridge is operating. So it's operating at maximum efficiency. It's connected to the battery circuit, and it's currently in performance mode with this little indicator here. So to change things, we need to turn the circuit on, give it a tap, everything lights up, and then we just select what we want to operate by using the control panel. So let's change the temperature, press it, and then we can now adjust the temperature like so. What I would recommend for the first time using the fridge is maybe set it for halfway, see how you go with that. If you find things are cool enough, you could operate at that. If you need a little bit more, you can give it a little bit more, or if things are too chilled, you can obviously turn it down. Once you select your setting, it will revert back itself, or you press the button. If you want to change the mode of this here, we press the button again, rotate this till we highlight this symbol, press, and then we need to go into user mode. We got 3 modes. We've got performance, which is your everyday operation of the fridge. The fridge will make decisions by itself to decide when to run the compressor. We have quiet mode. So quiet mode allows the fridge to go into a very low compression cycle, acts like a cool box, brilliant for nighttime. It allows the fridge to remain the temperature on the inside without giving the really noisy compressor in the middle of the night. Bear in mind that quiet mode operates for 8 hours only, and after 8 hours, it'll automatically switch back to performance mode. Now, when that happens, the compressor might kick in. So obviously you want to do quiet mode as late at night as possible, just avoid it kicking in while you're sleeping. Let me just go back to the options. And then last but not least, we have boost mode. Boost mode is if the fridge hasn't been switched on and you need to get things chilled quickly, then you can connect it to boost mode, and that'll get the fridge operating as fast as possible. The fridge will make a lot of noise. You'll hear the compressor fire off as well, but it will get the temperature down in the fridge to chill items quickly for you. Now, the fridge is intelligent enough to know when it is on certain circuits. So when you're on electrical hookup, this will change to a hookup symbol. When the vehicle is running and the fridge is switched on, it will use the vehicle battery system, or like just now when we're just parked up, it will use the 12-volt system. When you finish with the fridge, you can power the fridge down by holding the button down. Let me just come back, there we go, hold it down. I hear the beep, that is now the fridge switched off. Don't forget the fridge operates on both sides with the hinges, like so. Now, a good top tip here is to use 2 hands to action the fridge, so you'll give it an even pressure when you're opening and closing the fridge itself. And that is your Dometic fridge. So next we're going to have a quick look at the Dometic microwave that your van is fitted with. Now, the microwave will only operate on 230 volts, so either on electrical hookup or if you use your inverter system. Now, do bear in mind, if you're using the microwave, please don't use the induction hob as well. It will take a lot of draw out of the battery system. So once it's switched on, it's very much like a standard microwave you find in any house. You have a power mode, which you can tell what power that you want to have on board, like so. You then have your cook mode, your defrost mode, instant starts, as it were. So cook mode, we press that, and then we've got our timer mode as well. So we just press our timer like so. And then when we're ready, we just start the system and off it will go. So, sorry, start button just there. And that's it operating. Push the button, open the door. Now, there is no rotary ring in here, so just bear that in mind. It's because this is a camper van style fridge. Don't forget, obviously, make sure the door is firmly shut before traveling. You don't want this flowing out, as it were. And that's basically it. It's a very simple thing to use. But again, don't forget, it only operates on the inverter system or if you're on an electrical hookup. If you need to and wish to, the power socket for the microwave is located in the cupboard just to the right of the microwave. I would recommend only plugging the microwave in when you actually intend to use it. And there you go. That is your Dometic microwave. Now we're going to take a quick look at the electric step that's fitted to your WildAx. So to action the step in and out, there's a simple button control located just here. So we just push the button and that will action the step in and out, like so. Now, top tip with the electric step is do carry like a little dust buster with you, and just make sure that you keep the top of the step nice and clear of any dirt or debris. What you don't want to do is to drag sand, mud inside the system itself, as it were, because it could potentially cause a jam. So yep, definitely give it a brush, and when you're washing the van, don't forget to give the step a little wash from time to time as well. And that's the electric step. So that was the handover video for the WildAx Aurora XL. I hope you found it really, really useful. As I mentioned at the start of this, I would recommend that you maybe bookmark or download this video for future reference when you're out and about. All that's left for me to say is enjoy your first adventure in the van, and we look forward to seeing you again here at Highland Camper Vans. Thanks for watching.